Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a Java program to demonstrate throwing an exception. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. In Java programs, in order to throw an exception, we have to use a keyword known as throw keyword. Okay, we have a keyword in Java programs that we have to use for throwing an exception by using a keyword known as throw keyword. So we can take a situation in Java programs based on some condition is satisfied. If you want to throw an exception, you can throw it with the help of throw keyword. Okay, so let me demonstrate this so that you'll be able to understand the answer for this question in a better way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class. Okay. I'll simply name this class as voting demo, right? You all know that what is voting. Okay. If you want to elect, some government and all, okay. So some political party, if you want to elect, you should have the voting right. So voting right comes after 18 years, right? So if you have a minimum of 18 years of age, then you are eligible for the voting. Otherwise, you are not eligible for the voting. Okay. So I'll just create a main method inside that class. I'm going to write that code, okay, which throws an exception if someone tries to vote who is having the age below 18 years. Okay, that's what I want to do here. Okay, so I would like to collect the user's age while running the program. Okay, I'll try to collect the input during the runtime. Okay, while the program is running, I would like to collect the age of the user who is trying to vote, okay, for a political party from the output. For I assume that, okay, I'll simply write down scanner is equal to new scanner. So scanner is a predefined class in Java using which we can collect inputs from the user. Okay, that's the reason we have created an object for this scanner. Import scanner from java.util package. And the scanner constructor cannot be empty. If you want to intake an input from the user during the runtime, here we have to write system.in. Okay, that means you are allowing the input. System.in means you are intaking the data into your system. Okay, from the user who is an external source for us. Here I'll help the user understanding. After running the program, right, the user will not understand what's going on, and user will not be able to understand that he or she has to enter some age there. Okay, so to help the user during the runtime, I'll write this print statement saying enter your age. Okay, let's say these people are coming to the polling stations, and there are like where you can go and vote for a political party, and there at the entrance, okay, someone is checking like what's your age. Enter your age. Simply write scanner dot next int. Okay, this next int method of the scanner class will intake the age from the user in an integer format. Okay, so it will return you int age is equal to. Okay, now I'll write the code. If age is, okay, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then I'll write down like this: system.out.println. Okay, you are eligible for voting. Okay, you are eligible for voting. That's what will be printed. Else if age is neither greater than nor equal, if it is less than, in that case only it will go to the else block. There I'll say throw new exception based on this condition. If the user's age is, it's not minimum 18 years, in that case I have to throw an exception. I would like to manually throw an exception based on this Java logic. Okay, so here I can write exception class, and inside the exception class I'll put this constructor. You are creating an object for the exception class, and once this object is thrown to the JVM, right, JVM will stop the program there itself. Okay, here I'll write down, okay, not eligible for voting as per your age. Okay, as per your age. Okay, or minimum, or you can write here minimum age for voting is 18 years. Okay, like that you can write. Now you see, when I write this statement, I am getting a suggestion saying unhandled exemption type. You see, if in case the user enters an age which is less than 18, you'll go to the else block and an exception will be thrown. Because of the exception, that exception object of this exception class with this message will be thrown to JVM, and JVM will stop the program here in the 16th line. Remaining lines of code like end of this program, etc., won't be executed. Let's assume that for sample case, I'm writing this end of this program. Okay, end of this program, end of this program. Okay, like this. Okay, so this remaining portion of the code in the program won't be executed, because this throw new exception will throw an object of the exception class with this message for the reason for the exception. That object will be thrown to the JVM. That object will be thrown to the JVM, and JVM, the moment it receives this particular object from the exception class, will abruptly stop the program in the line 16 itself. All the lines after 16th line won't be executed. That's the problem with the exception. So no matter what way, whether you are throwing an exception using throw keyword, or you are, automatically due to some problems in the code, you are getting an exception, whatever it may be, we can handle that. We can handle the exception, guys. Okay, we can handle the exception. Hover the mouse on this, you see, ignore the exception. Okay, it's saying that you can ignore the exception, okay. So that's okay. So this code will not be executed if an exception occurs, and if the exception doesn't occur, the code will be executed. Remaining portion of the code will be executed. Let's see that this is how we can throw an exception manually. Okay, when due to some programming conditions. So run the code, and here it will ask you to enter your age. Let's say if I enter my age as let's say 40 and press enter, you are eligible for voting. End of this program, end of this program, end of this program, end of this program. Okay, if I run this code again, if I run this code and enter something like, some age which is 18, no problem. You are eligible for voting. Okay, 18 age is also eligible for voting. End of the program. The program execution has continued because there is no exception here. We didn't go to the throw else block, and throw exception has not been thrown. What if I give something like 10 years? Press enter. Exception in thread main, okay, will come. Exception in thread main, java.language.exception. Minimum age for voting is 18 years will be printed. Okay. Is there any way to handle this kind of throw thing? I don't think we can handle such kind of exceptions, because Eclipse IDE is not suggesting to put try-catch block surrounding this. Let's try this, even though Eclipse IDE is not suggesting us to put a try-catch block. Let's still try to, handle this exception. Let's see, will it allow or not? Catch E, system.out.println, E I'll say, okay, whether the exception will, I'll not ignore the exception, rather, I'll handle the exception, okay? I'll handle the exception. Let's see whether if this works, that's also fine. If an exception comes, it will handle the exception, and the remaining program, if you still want to continue, you can run this, okay? Right here, run as Java application. Let's see whether the exception will be handled or not. 10 I'll give. You see, exception got handled using try-catch block, and the remaining portion of the code got executed. And here clearly mentioned java.lang exception has occurred. Minimum age for voting is 18 years also came. This is a better way, instead of ignoring the exception and surrounding this throw new exception, where you are throwing an exception intentionally based on a programming logic. That throw related statement you can surround with try-catch blocks, and you can handle the exception also. Okay, I tried all the stuff here. I showed you all the stuff, guys, regarding how to throw a exception. Okay, how to throw an exception. The question here is write a Java program to demonstrate throwing an exception. This is how in real time we can throw an exception, and that exception we can even handle also. Okay, whatever the exception you are trying to throw, you can handle that, and so that the program execution will continue. If you are not worried about the program execution to be continued, you can ignore the exception and remove the try-catch block. That's also fine. Okay. But to the interviewer, you can demonstrate this statement is very important, which is a straightforward answer for this question. So hope, guys, you got the answer for this question. Now you can take a screenshot of this code if you want to practice this code, right? You can take a screenshot. Hope, guys, you have taken the screenshot for this code. So with this note, okay, I have done answering this question for you with practical demonstration. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.